So in this video we're going to create an open auction. So an open auction will work in the same way as a ranked auction. So it will invite suppliers to compete against each other in order to win a piece of business. They will bid against each other, but instead of the ranked auction where the suppliers will see where they rank, in an open auction the suppliers will know exactly what price they need to bid in order to rank first, because they'll see what price they need to bid. So it's up to you as a client whether you choose to do a ranked auction or an open auction. What you will tend to find, generally speaking, is in an open auction you won't get prices as close to each other for each supplier, because the supplier will see in the open auction what they need to bid to in order to rank first, and if they can't get near that price they simply won't bid. In a ranked auction, as they only see their rank 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it may be, and they will keep on bidding until they get to their lowest point which they can get to. So you will tend to find that they cluster towards the lower end of the spectrum in terms of price, whereas on an open auction, if they just can't get there, they just won't bid. But it's up to you and how you want to create these auctions and how you want the suppliers to compete against each other. So what we'll do is we'll run through in this video how to create an open auction and see the steps that you need to take in order to create an auction itself. So we go to create event. We're going to create a new event. And we'll go to open auction. I'm going to leave the name of the event as event 17, and I can put a start date, so I'm going to put 5 PM 17th of April, and put the currency code as GBP, and I'm going to send automatic email reminders to suppliers to let them know that they need to bid, because with all auctions you still need to provide a qualifying bid in advance of the auction itself. The plan type, we're going to call this reverse. Now that means that the lowest bid will win. In a forward type auction the highest price would win, but in this particular one it's a reverse auction, so the lowest price wins. Auto time extension of 5 minutes. That means the auction will last for 30-minute duration as seen here, but if someone bids in the last 5 minutes it will automatically extend by 5 minutes. And the minimum bid increment of 1%, which means the supplier must bid a minimum of 1% difference from their last bid, and will allow suppliers to bid on individual lots. So we go to save and continue. We're not going to add a questionnaire for this particular auction. If you want to see auctions with questionnaires, you see later videos or earlier videos. And save and continue. We're going to add a lot, so I'm going to call this lot 1, quantity 200, and we'll say, let's have a look, we'll go for per square metre, and it costs £22 per square metre. The current price, qualifying bid therefore is £22. Difference between current price and qualification price: current price is the amount you're paying currently. If you're not paying a current amount for this lot, then just have a best guesstimate. And the qualification price is the price that the supplier needs to get to in order to qualify for the auction. If they can only bid as low as £24 per unit, in this case that means per square metre, it will not allow them to compete. You can put supporting documents in here if you want to add a specification or data information about the lot. You can just drop the file in here to add it. Save changes, and then go to next. And then we are not adding any variables on this event, so we're going to next. If I wanted to add any lead time or payment terms in order to use those variables to rank the suppliers in this event, I could add payment terms or lead time, but in this particular version we're just going to say it's all about price. I'm just going to go to next, and there you go, that's my weighting, 100% on price if I did add a variable, I'd be able to add my weighting on price and that variable, such as 80% on price, 20% on lead time, or indeed 80% on lead time, 20% on price. It's really up to me in Procurement Pal how you configure these events. We go to save and continue. And then for this particular event, we have one document, which is the terms and conditions, already pulling in by default. So I'm just going to go to next. And then I need to add my suppliers. So my suppliers have already been arranged in groups. So I'm going to go to all my suppliers that can supply carpets. And to see how you do that, please look at earlier videos on training. And then go to next. And you can see now all the details of the event, when it's going to start, which supplier is going to be invited. So once I click schedule event, these suppliers will be invited to start entering information to qualify for this event. So I go to schedule event. And there you go. So those suppliers have been invited via an email. They'll need to come in and RSVP to the event to say whether they want to compete or not. They'll be asked to supply a qualifying bid, and they'll be asked to start at 5 PM on April the 7th to start bidding for this particular lot. And at that time they will bid against each other, and they can see openly which price they need to get to in order to win the event, as we base this whole event on price. So the lowest price supplier will win the piece of business. And that's how you create an open auction. If there's any questions on this particular video, please email Dan at procurementpal.com.